Welcome to Ecom Cowboy. This is D2C's daily show where we believe ads are not bad. Ignorance is expensive and the American dream is alive and well on the internet today. It is March 23rd, 2026. We're brought to you by Incense, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP, and we have a jam-packed show for you today. Some of the biggest brains on the interwebs, specifically in the venture capital sector, released some of the worst historically bad takes on paid ads that have ever been spoken over the weekend. We are going to get into it. Rachel Carton has identified the very best content on the internet right now. And spoiler alert, it is not the AI slop-pocalypse. It is proven effort. We're going to talk about it. Dan Vincent, founder of Wild Jim, will be joining us to talk to us about why the world needs more rucking. Bottom line, above all else, as always, I am joined by my partner in crime, Colin Doherty. Colin, get in here. Get in here, Colin.
Whoa. Let's go.
Colin, there was a fury of historical L's that were released by people themselves, historically bad takes on paid advertising, and they came from some of the biggest minds on the internet. We need to talk about it and look into it. This starts with Andrew Chin, who had this to say, upon which many others built in a historically bad direction. Lots of AI companies starting to experiment with paid marketing. So here's my take. Paid acquisition is a tax on your product's defensibility. The moment you can't outspend the incumbents and competitors, you die. Build channels that get cheaper as you grow, or you're just renting your growth. And then Bill Gurley had this to say on top of this: paid marketing is the crudest game you can play. It's crude. It's for bad people. It's for bad people. You're crude if you're playing that game. Spoiler alert, he advertises his own book on Amazon, okay? He is running Amazon ads for his own book, but paid marketing is the crudest game you can play. It's admitting you have no creativity. Again, he's running ads for his own book, and actually restricts your creativity. Fire those that want to spend more. I repeat, fire those who want to spend more. Has this guy run? Has he been involved in a marketing campaign ever? You really have to wonder. I mean, statements like these, they make me wonder how out of touch with the actual hands-on marketing and growth of a business that they are. Okay, this next one, it gets even worse. Okay, Kyle, let me show you this one before we start getting some reactions. This is from More Tweets. Olivia Moore, who is at A16Z, okay, very smart person. In consumer, paid ads generally equals lack of true product market fit. I have yet to see a generational startup with largely paid ad-driven growth. Okay, then she had to, say a few exceptions. Okay. Of course, there are some exceptions. Example, TikTok, okay, need to pay for early density. And some might argue with users paying more for consumer AI products, you don't need to have a TAM of everyone. But I'm still skeptical. Well, I'm skeptical of you. Okay? Now, I know. Okay, she's got a great background. Stanford, okay? many wonderful places. Okay, she's been an analyst here and there. Now she's at A16Z. This makes me skeptical of her. Oh my Lord. My Lord.
Yeah.
Okay. Your take before we go on. Just thoughts in general before we keep going. Before we get to Mark Cuban, because even Mark Cuban has something to say here. Your thoughts here now, Colin.
This is just showing the actual divide between how much VC knows about consumer brands that they're investing in. The growth levers for most consumer brands, I'm going to spoil it for you guys. It's Chris, do you know what it is?
Paid advertising.
It's paid advertising in the form usually of Meta. And so to say this, and then also on the other side of this, to totally invest in these companies as part of the portfolio, you can run through all of 16Z's, investments, and you can go through Bill Gurley's investments. Some of those are of consumer. A great example of a heavily funded VC investment into consumer is 8 Sleep. 8 Sleep runs a ton of paid media ads in the form of Meta, also everywhere else. But to say that then they don't have a product market fit because of that is unreal. I mean, a lot of people were also backing into Athletic Greens. Prime example. They run a massive paid media campaign. They have achieved product market fit, and they are now going and ballooning and doing crazy things.
So
Some of the worst takes in the world.
I mean, historically bad. I mean,
Historically bad.
Completely detached from reality.
Yeah.
8 Sleep, for example, they paid a whole lot of money to get their little logo on that Formula One car. Okay, where some of the largest amounts of dollars are spent in the entire world. Okay, you can easily drop 6 figures on a decent seat at a race. Okay, easily. You can drop 6 figures on a weekend. Okay, now is that placement crude? That placement paid advertising there for 8 Sleep is crude. That's crude.
I guess so.
We're literally the richest people in the world are going to be watching you live and tuning in, across time zones, literally across the whole earth. That's crude. I mean, that negates you as having generational opportunity. I mean, it just like it's bad. It's bad, and it gets even worse. Mark Cuban had this to say.
Let's see it.
You up with Mark Cuban here. Facts. Earned marketing for the win from a van in 2012 to making $14 million in cash distributions today. Alyssa's health cookies and all earned media smart packaging. The nutrition label is the best marketing and word of mouth. Cost plus drugs, changing healthcare, all earned media and word of mouth. The challenge with spending more on marketing is that the platforms are becoming less effective. And in an AI-driven world, who knows? Now, this one's kind of like fine. I think it's great. Okay, it's great. But here's what I would say is, like, if you're not going to leverage paid advertising, what you can have is a small, slow growing, very profitable company. Now that's fine. That's fine for a lot of people. And when I got to Bruce Bolt, it was a small, very profitable company, and that's great. And the very first thing that I did was double ad spend immediately. Because when you've got strong word of mouth and you have actual product market fit, when you pour gas on top of that thing, you turn a bonfire into a forest fire. That is the point. When you have true product market fit, you have word of mouth, you got early signs of, man, this thing could run. Now what you do is you pour as much gas on that baby as you can. And then what was a small, very profitable company becomes a much larger, still very profitable company if you have budgeted yourself correctly, you are watching the P&L, et cetera, et cetera. Paid ads doesn't negate you from having a wildly profitable company. It all depends on how you are manufacturing views and how you have set up the company to run. But I just think that this overall view of paid ads being bad is stupid. Honestly, I think it's dumb. I think it's dumb, and it's totally detached from reality.
What's crazy is that last brand that Mark Cuban brought up, they would probably benefit massively from paid ads because they already have this organic foothold on top of everything. So you already have this organic content. Hey, by the way, throw this all into paid advertising and absolutely go to the moon if you're already in this incredible wheelhouse. It's not this and you're only doing paid ads, it's this and that. So you're also
Exactly.
doing this organic, and you can also do paid ads on top of it to amplify the voice that you already have with organic.
Let's cover some of the rebuttals here. Okay. This first one is from NK Ecom, and he said this: I once met a guy that ran an e-commerce brand where he refused to run paid ads. 100% of his traffic was organic. Anyway, I acquired his brand. I immediately started running ads and then sold it for 200x more than I bought it for. Easiest money I ever made. Thank you, ad haters. Okay, I think this is a good
Exactly.
point. This is a great point. And it's not to say that there's not a healthy foundation that should be in place, that hopefully you can exist and be a company and be profitable, even if you didn't have a giant bank account sunk into running paid ads. Hopefully, okay. But if you've got
Yeah.
that, you pour paid ads on top, and now you can sell this thing for 200x more. It's a reality. And Nabil
Yeah.
Khan here is talking about it. Next, Eric Seifert, who we want to come on the show. He had this to say: the most successful consumer apps didn't rely on paid advertising to scale. When unit economics support profitable user acquisition, not pursuing advertising leaves money on the table. The fact that ByteDance, citing TikTok here as the most generational example that had been brought out several times in the comments, spent aggressively on user acquisition to grow TikTok, has been common knowledge for years. At one point, the company spent an estimated $3 million per day on acquisition marketing in the United States alone. And the company is purported to have spent roughly $1 billion on advertising over the course of 2018. And lastly, Jesse Rank. He had this to say: Crude, uncreative, non-generational companies I ran paid for. Fire me. TikTok, Airbnb, DraftKings, FanDuel, Robinhood, Blue Apron, HelloFresh, Wish, and let's not forget Uber, DoorDash, Booking.com, Expedia, Wayfair, Chewy, SoFi, Credit Karma, Chime, Snap, Lyft, Instacart, LendingTree, NerdWallet, Lemonade, Dollar Shave Club, Hopper.
Oh my gosh. The list goes on and on.
The list goes on and on. And hey, I guess what I'll say at the end of the day, if running paid ads makes me a crude person, then I guess I better just own it. I better just own it, because this is where we make our money at the end of the day. If one cannot adequately manage that ad account and put some creatives in there that get to your audience and help them get some dollars out of their wallet into your bank account, then I'm not sure that we have a business at the end of the day. Last word for you, Colin?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think one of the biggest defenses that they have is, okay, well, e-commerce, and then you just laid out a litany of B2B software companies that scaled very aggressively. I would say one of the noticeable ones that is I would argue, a generational company is TikTok, and they were spending $3 million a day
Yeah.
on Instagram. That's how they got people on TikTok, is they would run Instagram ads to push people over to TikTok. And so, yes, it worked. They're one of the largest consumer apps in the entire planet right now because they had an absolute war chest of cash early on, and they pushed all of that into ads. And so to say that ads are bad, I don't think that's correct at all. And there's amazing success examples now because of this.
And there shall continue to be.
Yeah.
We have got founder Dan Vincent of WildGen coming into the show. But before he comes, we need to tell you about AMP. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can't explain how your business is doing in a sentence or two, your key metrics, your CAC, your LTV, how you are trending toward forecast or not, if you can't tell us those things in a half a sentence or so and answer those questions concisely, I'm not sure you know how your business is doing. That's why we love AMP's platform, and they're particularly favorite tool of mine, Lifetimely. If you go and use Lifetimely all in one place and space, you can answer all of those questions in a visually pleasing dashboard and know and allow yourself to scale with confidence in 2026. Don't you want that? Of course you do. Their AI tool is not just available for you to prompt it, but it will be prompting you: this cohort, this offer, this product, XNA, this, run that, tested this, which is what we need at the end of the day to put profit back in our pockets. Go to useamp.com, test drive that platform, use Lifetime to get all their other tools for free. Many thanks for them being part of the show. Now, we have a man coming in here with a very interesting backstory. A college athlete, a wilderness ranger who has left it all and started on his entrepreneurial journey to forthrightly get us all out the door and rucking more every day and in every way. I'm talking about the one and only Dan Vincent, founder of Wild Gym. Dan, get in here. Get in here, Dan.
Oh, hey, good evening. Good afternoon, I should say.
Dan, man, you know, if I didn't know better, Dan, I would say that you have a shampoo company because that hair is looking lovely, my friend. I mean, I'm just saying out the door here. But Dan, man, I would love if you would start and just give us some backstory on this. Man, how did you get here? How did you get here? How did you become a founder of a rucking backpack company? Man, I've heard some incredible things about and being an athlete and man, getting in and getting out and finding your way in and out and all of those things. Man, tell us how you got here.
Yeah, you hit on it a little bit, but I'll try and be concise. So I was a college athlete. I was a walk-on actually. So I played lacrosse in college. I got cut my freshman year. Basically spent a year training, trying to get physically prepared to compete at that level because it was, I think one thing to understand is walking on, playing at the Division I level is one thing, but then walking on is probably like, 0.01% of people. So it was a challenge. But finally made the team, didn't really play at all until my senior year. The summer before my senior year, I was a wilderness ranger. So I literally lived in the wild.
Let's go.
So I'm out there and I wanted to stay in shape. So I built like a Rocky IV style weight room. So I was literally squatting logs, lifting rocks.
Come on, baby.
Pull ups on tree branches. Like the term wild gym has like a literal meaning to it.
I love it.
So I did all that. I came back my senior year, earned a starting role, got a scholarship to come back. I had an extra year of eligibility. So I got to
boom, baby.
this year. So yeah, so that worked out. Finished school, stayed as a ranger for a few seasons, did a few seasons as a wildland firefighter, and was always kind of in this athlete mindset and always thinking entrepreneurially. I'd done some things on the side, some camps, lacrosse camps, sports camps, training, things like that. Yeah. I've always kind of avoided like getting a real job to the greatest degree possible, but
feel that.
Launched Wild Gym on Kickstarter in 2014. We've done 8 successful Kickstarters. We've raised, I think, over $5 million on Kickstarter.
Incredible, bro.
And incredible. To be honest, like our business model was basically we would just do Kickstarters for the early years. It worked really well. We never really built a real e-com funnel until I launched the Ruck in 2023, and that's really what's taken off for like a real D2C e-commerce business, and that's where we are today.
I love it, man. That's
absolutely insane. Yeah, could you talk a little bit about that Kickstarter journey? If I'm a brand listening to this and I want to launch on Kickstarter, I want to be successful. Could you take us through that framework and system for how you're thinking about how I'm going to launch this new Kickstarter? Because you've been through multiple successes at this point.
Brother, you're like the GOAT of Kickstarter.
You're the GOAT. You're the Kickstarter GOAT.
I had no clue, man. That is incredible.
Yeah. No, we've been particularly successful in the fitness space. There's certainly other brands that have done way more than we have, but we hit it at really the right time. But I think to answer your question, Colin, it's going into it knowing you're going to win ahead of time. So if you go into it, expecting to pull the rabbit out of the hat, you're not going to be successful. Sure. I mean, we were literally, especially in the early days, this was 2014, 2015, 2016, messaging friends, college friends on Facebook, emailing family members, like hunting down every possible reporter, blogger, whoever to basically strong arm them.
Yes.
The campaign. Like, we expect you to back our campaign on day one, because that sets the trajectory for the rest of the campaign. So yeah, it was there's not really in this is all over the internet in the sense of building the audience up front, all that, but that's what it is. There's no magic bullet. It's just if you do that thing, you're much more likely to be successful.
Absolutely.
And I find the product and your kind of mindset or background for discovering this, bringing it into the world, I find this compelling. I played college sports as well. I played football, And to me, there is a distinct kind of atmosphere or environment or even mindset when you go from exercising in a gym, which I admittedly don't like that much. You spend 4 hours a day doing it, for several years. You
Right.
want to change a pace, but it sounds like there's something compelling about getting outside and doing it in the wild, doing it in creation, and doing it in Mother Nature, and using those logs, and eventually equipping people to get out and ruck and find a way of consistent exercise that helps people elevate who they are and where they're going in life. Do you sense that same kind of distinction? Is that at all in your mind as you were bringing Wild Gym to life?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's like that gym physical aspect where there's more of like, I guess maybe a performance element to it, right? Whereas with rucking and particularly just being outside in general, there's a physical side, of course, but my mind felt better is the best way I could describe it.
Sure.
You can go ruck with a friend and have the best ideas for your business when you come back. You can go ruck. Listen. I'm pretty sure, Chris, I listened to you on a podcast while I was out rucking.
All right.
It's really easy to stack multiple things. But I think there's also particularly in today's kind of work environment, you take actions that you don't see the results of for days, weeks, months. Whereas with rucking, there's this literal every step you're making literal forward progress, which I just think you don't necessarily get to experience all the time.
Wow.
Tell me about the product, Dan, because I think there's a lot of people who would just say like, hey man, I could just throw a dumbbell in my backpack and let me just load this thing up. Take me into the product and why this thing is unique, helpful for consistent exercise, etc. How did you develop it and how long did it take? Just give us background on that.
Yeah. You certainly can just throw away the backpack. The comfort levels, I think, where you will find like a purpose-built ruck really distinguishes itself. So for me, I have a very unique background. I was a wilderness ranger, I was a wildland firefighter, I backcountry bow hunt, I rock climb. I do a lot of these things where carrying heavy weight is kind of foundational and integral to all those things. So our original ruck design was a combination of a hunting backpack and a trail running vest. Two things you would not think about bringing together, but that was kind of the hybrid design. Hunting pack, trail running vest, so it has a contoured aluminum frame that gives it the rigidity. Whereas if you think about your standard kind of hiking, backpacking backpack, you throw in a dense weight, it collapses on itself because it's meant to have the volume filled. So our rucks have the dedicated plate pocket, so it keeps the weight in the proper rucking position the entire time. The ruck does not collapse on itself. You can still carry all your gear in external pockets as well. So that was a real fundamental design thesis. And then basically taking the concept in now we've released two versions now. So there's the everyday ruck. Now we have the feather ruck. That's really, I think, going to be our flagship going forward. And that still has that hunting and trail running vest kind of foundation inspiration, but it also has the built-in hip belt, the adjustable torso. So more of your traditional kind of backpacking pack, but in that streamlined minimalist version. I used to, when I had my first daughter, this was like 2020 during COVID, I had the kind of SWAT looking vest, and I'd push her in the stroller walking around the neighborhood. Straps would be super sore. People were like looking at me kind of side-eyed. And it wasn't an enjoyable experience. The same thing with I would throw in my backpacking backpack. I'd throw in like a bunch of weight, super uncomfortable. And it's like, you can certainly do it if you don't want to invest in a purpose-built ruck, but I just wanted something that was specifically for that purpose.
Wow. Oh, Chris, you go ahead.
Go ahead, Colin. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, we talk a lot about, brands being in person and in-person activations on this show, where we're really leaning into that in 2026 as a thesis, as our show. Your brand lends itself perfectly to that, to this in-person connection, to this, this bond that I'm going to have with a friend. Hey, let's go out into the woods. Let's ruck a little bit. Let's get a good workout in. I'm trying to be fit. You're trying to be fit. Let's go have fun, get off our phones. How are you thinking about those kind of in-person activations? And all of that moving forward in 2026.
We need that.
I think it's something we're failing miserably at, to be frank. I mean, it's
honest,
you know,
though.
We're we have a very small team. It's myself, my wife helps out a ton, and we have a handful of part-time or contractors, but we're doing 89% of the work ourselves. So it's like trying to stay focused. There's what you should do versus what you can do, and that is again where we're just failing miserably. But we do try to encourage people just through our content, our newsletter, all that, to get out. But I do think there's no reason why every neighborhood shouldn't have like a ruck club of some sort.
A ruck club, baby.
I love that. I love that.
A wild, actually, no, forget ruck club. They need a wild gym. They need local wild gyms. That's what because it's what I believe and what I think is important is, particularly in the fitness space, there's this maybe emphasis on like the one thing, right? I like to use rucking as a foundation, walking with weight as a foundation, but it's definitely, there's other things built on top of that, whether it's basic calisthenics, it could be yoga, things like that. But I don't, my message is not just ruck and all your problems will be solved. It's maybe rucking might be a great foundation from which you can build and actualize your fitness.
Yeah, and I like this idea of the ruck club because, run clubs have, some people would say like the run club thing has like come and gone. I don't think it's exactly gone. Is that fair, Colin? I mean, I don't think the run clubs are gone.
It's still here. It's a little bit modified into a dating scene at this point, but what can you do about it?
But I would say I heard of one this weekend, actually. Maybe it's for slightly older segments, already married or whatever. But I've heard of groups of late 20s, 30s, early 40s, somethings men, and them going out and rucking around Lake Georgetown, just this past weekend, and it was 26 miles. And they, and one guy passed out at mile 19. At mile 19, Dan, he had to call his wife and ask his wife to come pick him up. Okay. And then, he was so embarrassed that he decided he had to go out and do it himself the next weekend. And at mile 18, he had to do the same thing again and to call his wife and come pick him up. But I think there's something compelling to this. And I'll say this. There's something about it, Dan, that I'm sure you sell to plenty of females, but there's something about it that feels masculine to me. I hate running. I don't ever want to jog. I don't want to do that. I don't. I would much rather sprint at 40s, 100s than jog. And if you put some weight on my back and you tell me to walk, now I feel tough. I feel masculine. I want to go get out in the hills. Is there anything to that? Do you feel like there's a natural kind of attraction for males' masculinity when it comes to rucking, et cetera?
I think that the low T epidemic could be solved by more guys getting out and doing hard things, whether that's working out together, rucking, whatever it is. And I mean that kind of seriously in a way. Like when you're in the strength and conditioning gym, like there's just an energy of being around a bunch of guys working hard. It can be anything. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be rucking, but anything where there's like a physical pursuit where you're moving forward. That I think is what a lot of people are missing. And I've heard that anecdotally from even a lot of our customers. Like, the male loneliness thing is real. And I think it's a great way to solve it. Like, and it's scalable too, right? Like I live just outside of Boulder, Colorado. So like, you got to be careful here because you say, hey man, you want to go for a run or a ruck, and you don't know who you're talking to because there's a lot of really elite athletes.
All right. I see.
I see. And so with rucking, it's like, I can go with my mom or my dad or whoever, and I can carry a bunch of weight. They can carry lightweight, but we can still kind of go at the same pace. So I think that's what's unique about it in the sense of running. You got to really be on the same wavelength.
That's really interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah, because there's a ton of science right now coming out that the older generation needs to build this strength resistance as they're getting older to get healthier. And rucking is an amazing insert into that, which isn't terribly hard for them to do and pick up. It's not something complicated. How are you? When I think of rucking, I immediately think of military. I think of army. I think of really tough guys, stronger than me, that could probably kill something in this room if they needed to. How are you kind of moving forward with the military operators and partnering with that community at all?
We definitely have a lot of customers that do come from a military background, and we are very appreciative of their service. And we try and make that known from the get-go. So
it's awesome.
That's something we for sure do. But I think they're not necessarily who we're trying to speak to first and foremost. I think there's other brands that are doing that better than us, just based on their own roots. So my background, again, is more as an athlete in the outdoors. So we're trying to maybe position and play more in that space. And again, we have tons of customers that are from a military background, and we're very appreciative. But that's not, we're not trying to just be another brand like that. I think there's a lot of blue ocean to play in.
Yeah,
absolutely. I love that.
I think you're riding some zeitgeist here too, Dan. I think you're riding some waves with, the new food pyramid, with people taking their health more seriously. There's all kind of sides of this with GLP-1s and et cetera, et cetera. But I think people are looking for ways to take care of themselves more. And to me, like, rucking feels like a natural entry for, maybe I don't have all the energy in the world anymore. And I know I want to have a little weight. I want to get into it. And also this community element, 2023, the Surgeon General released like the #1 biggest problem epidemic that we all have is loneliness. And it's the same kind of health effects as burning down several cigs per day, in terms of how it affects our health. And so I want to see more people taking up rucking and doing this together, and wild gyms specifically attached to it. It just seems like there is a real opportunity for forging community in association with your brand and product, and bringing people together and creating memories, in addition to endorphins, in addition to, helping people get healthy. I think there's really something to that, Dan.
I think you're right. And we are built. So I'm actively, I had mentioned, I think we failed miserably. We have failed miserably. Going forward, I'm working we're building platforms. It would be an app. Hopefully we'll release this summer, but eventually, I'm not sure when that feature would be out, but the main goal would be to connect people ultimately. So,
love it.
Yeah. So I'm super psyched. Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah, that is incredible. I think that's super important. I mean, Chris knows this just from my time in Austin, rucking around the lake sounds amazing. Just that exact, like, that path, and doing that, and hopefully not passing out on mile 18.
Hopefully not.
Would be a really amazing Saturday morning, and just seeing folks out there, it's so helpful.
Dan,
one thing I would have is a comment I'll get a lot is people, it's like, how do you do rucking, right? Like, it's almost too simple, right? It's just walking with weight, but there's something where it's almost so simple. It needs a little more like, sexiness to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the simplicity, it's almost like, well, yeah, you just go outside and walk. Oh, that's it. Like, you kind of gotta sexy it up a little bit. So that's also what we're working on as well. So how do you start into it? How can you start and not get hurt? How can you build yourself up for the long game? All those things. So
well, I think there's something to it, because I was just mentioning this guy I was listening to talk about it this weekend. He hurt himself. He hurt himself significantly. He got very hurt, which is why he had to come and get picked up multiple times. But I like that. I like that. Some entrance, some delineation. This amount of weight, this amount of length, et cetera, et cetera. I think that would be really helpful. Dan, man, we love to hear what you got coming, and we love your backstory, and brother, we appreciate you making the time. Man, anything else, man, you want to tell us? I would also say you got to tell us, man, where people should go and
find you.
So we're wildgym.com. You can follow me personally. It's Wild Dan Vinson. It's Vinson. Our company, or Wild Gym is Wild. It's at Wild Gym Co. And yeah, we're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I post pretty much every day. I show a lot of I try and show examples of applied rucking. I like the idea of applied rucking and then opportunities for fitness. I'm a dad. I have 2 girls. We go out.
Yeah.
This way, we were on spring break. We were rock climbing. We were hiking mountains. They're 5 and 7, and I think a lot of parents maybe hold back because they're not, one, maybe physically capable themselves, but unsure of their kids. So that's another part, is just kind of showing what's possible if you take care of yourself physically. So
Absolutely.
I saw that video of you guys climbing with your girls, and I was like, man, this is like the super family. We need to get on this guy's level. Man, It's very impressive, and man, we love what you do. We appreciate you joining the show, and we look forward to having you back, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. Take care. Stay wild, everyone.
Stay wild, baby. That's good.
I need to get fitter. I mean, we have fit guests on the show, and every time they come on, I just realize I need to get more fit, because he just seemed absolutely jacked, and I need to just ruck more.
My guy is jacked. Dan is jacked. He's like this other guy that I follow on Twitter that I cannot remember his name right now, but he was flexing on everybody with one-armed pull-ups over the weekend. Man, it was a bold move. It was a bold move. Yeah, hey, why not ruck a little more? Pick you up one of them backpacks. I really like the feather one. I think the feather one is for me. I don't know why, but I just like the way it looks. And it's interesting. He mentioned, he does a lot of back country hunting. Brother, you got to walk a long way and you got to carry heavy stuff when you do that, man.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Especially if you down something and then you got to pull it out. There's nothing else there's nothing pulling the deer except you. You're pulling the deer, brother.
It's you, brother. You're gonna quarter that thing up and you're gonna walk many miles out. That's how you're gonna get that meat.
Yeah.
Wow. Dan Vincent, man, founder of Wild Gym. Appreciate him coming on the show. Before we move forward, let's talk about Postscript, ladies and gentlemen. Focus is an amazing thing, is it not? When you focus, you get outsized results, and that's why Postscript, who only does SMS marketing, people make the switch, see an average 22% increase. Now, I did not get those results. I got a whole lot more. Okay, we went from making very little money on SMS to being a top 1% account on the entire platform inside of a year. How did that happen? I just did what they said. Okay, the conversational report has just been released. You go to directtoconsumer.co/the conversational report. What you are going to get is incredible information on revenue opportunities over SMS, specifically when your customers text you back. Spoiler alert, you've been leaving them on red, or even worse, just auto responding and telling them to send an email. What Postscript is doing with their AI shopper, allowing them to dynamically respond to your customers who want to purchase, is incredible. Go to get the conversational report today. Many thanks for Postscript being part of the show. Now, Colin, the best content on the internet has been identified by one Rachel Carton. And we all know, if you want to be up to date on social media, you need to be subscribed to her newsletter, which I can say that I am now. Okay. And not just subscribed, but I am a paid participator. And she released the goods this morning. The best content right now isn't polished. It's not AI slopocalypse. It is proven effort. And I want to read some of this to you because I think you're going to find it incredible. Let me read this to you, and then we'll cover the 3 kinds of proven effort. As a society, this is Rachel, we are being sold ease. Optimize this, save time with that. The people posting AI-generated movie clips with "we're so cooked" forget that so much of what makes something interesting is what? Implied effort. The plot of Mission Impossible is almost as important as the subtext that Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Interesting point, Rachel. This all leads me to the larger story. The best content on the internet right now, heroes effort. Telling the story of people actually trying. The effort heuristic is a studied cognitive shortcut that assumes that tasks requiring significant investment, whether it's time, energy, or skill, will result in a better quality compared to those achieved without that investment. On social media, audiences are often making snap decisions on whether they want to stick around to watch a piece of content. Perceived effort is a strong way to create that cognitive buy-in. Now, I've got 3 videos here. Jack, do we have those videos? I've got 3 videos here that we can show as examples. Okay, great. I think we do have them. The first one is stated effort. Okay, I want you to play the sound on this, Jack, because I think this is incredible. Can you play the sound and back this up?
California, which is the most liberal city in
back it up,
America.
Jack. Back it up.
We bought this payphone on Facebook Marketplace and then modified it a bunch and then changed the signage to say, call a Republican. And then we brought the payphone to San Francisco, California, which is the most liberal city in America. And then we installed the payphone outside of Black Serum Tattoo, of course, with their permission. And after we installed the phone, we then got on a flight to Texas, where we bought another payphone in Dallas and drove it 2 hours west to Abilene, the most conservative city in America. And then at an Airbnb, we modified it a bunch and had it say, call a Democrat on it. And then we installed this payphone outside of 7-in-1 Books, of course, with their permission. And when you pick up this phone in Texas, it automatically calls the other phone in San Francisco.
That's good, Jack.
And when you pick
That's good. That's good. Okay. So what I love about this, the reason this is so compelling is because they state right up at the front all of the work that they did to make this thing happen. We found this, and then we recreated it, and then we put it in San Francisco, and then we flew to Abilene. And this stating of effort, I find to be an incredibly compelling way to just show, like, hey, you should watch this because we put a lot of work into this thing. Do you find this compelling?
Yeah, this is a great video. It's also a little bit controversial because you're kind of pulling at both sides, left and right, and looping that into the actual content itself. And so whenever you can loop in the left and the right side of politics and talk a little bit about that in your content, things tend to get a little spicy and a little viral.
Yeah, they're probably do a little rage farming maybe in the comments on both sides. Okay, talk to us about creative effort. This is the second of the 3, creative effort. I want to show you this next video. I find this incredibly interesting as well. Play this next video for us, Jack. Okay, this.
That's awesome.
Okay, all right, turn the sound off, Jack. Turn the sound off. Okay, so this is a live slot machine, and you can see the creative effort that went into this. They made this whole, what would you call this? I guess it's like it's not an A-frame, but they've made this whole setup. They've gone to this farmer's market. They have 3 people sitting there, and then when people push the button, they go around and then they pull up a random fruit or they pull up the sign. The creative effort that went into this, I mean, to me, it makes this so compelling, and it makes me want to watch it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's entirely unique too. You've probably never seen anything like this. I think there's also that level to it where this is an entirely new, unique idea that we haven't really seen in the wild. So this is a great example of creative effort.
Stated effort, creative effort, putting something in that actually takes time. They do it in real life, shows the hours and the energy and the thought that went into it. And then number 3 is featured effort. And this is so simple, but I think this is something that every brand can do when it comes to launching a product or showing the work that's gone into developing a campaign, or just showing the work that goes into packing massive orders around Q4, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, show us this third example. This comes with, it's about a Broadway show, I believe, that they're putting on. This is featured effort. Play this video for us, Jack. I find this to be really unique and easy and enterable for everyone watching this. Play the sound for us. Okay, well, what's happening there? I don't know why we lost it, but what's happening there is they're simply showing the practice of all that's involved in going on in the dance. And they've got the guy playing the live music, and they've got the dancers doing their thing. And then people are blowing up in the comments simply stating how compelling this is, that people are putting in this amount of work until they debut. This to me is one of the easiest, most enterable ways for every brand in our space to show how much they put into the package that somebody receives. And I think something like this is an easy win when it comes to social content that everybody should be doing. It taps into that kind of Truman Show brand thing that we've talked about a number of times. I think something like this should be on everybody's social calendar. What do you think?
I love this. I think another aside for the type of video you could make for featured effort would be day in the life of a founder, and then have that as
Yes.
the effort of the founder. You can see how much this guy is actually working, or girl, this how much this guy or girl is working on the brand, building it every single day. And you are now basically you're following a storyline. You're following a story arc. A great example of someone who did this and did featured effort is Marcus from Minted, basically
Oh,
documenting the
yeah.
journey. And he also does this for all new product releases. He documents all of the effort and hours he does into the
See,
actual creative process for putting together a wallet, shoes, running shorts, a running jacket. And he timestamps all of this, and you're like, God, this guy is incredible. This the amount of
yeah.
effort that he is putting into this. And as a result, this continually goes viral.
That's a perfect example of a founder in our space who is doing this and showing his work, showing how much effort it goes through. And obviously, they are reaping the rewards. I mean, that guy, his YouTube is blowing up. Everybody
Blown up.
loves his content, etc. And I
Yep.
think this is a big reason why. We all know we want to be so, oh, AI is going to make your life so easy, optimize this, make it easy on yourself, etc. When we see people who are putting in the work, they're grinding, they're sleeping less, they're doing more, and it inspires us.
Yeah.
And people reward it with their views and they reward it with their dollars.
Yeah. I
I
will say
really
too,
like
he was also documenting some very unsexy stuff, a part of the business, which is taking pallets off of the bus as it gets delivered into the warehouse, you know, tagging
nobody
all
wants.
the things
Yeah.
as they get into the warehouse, packing and shipping everything so they get the orders out as soon as possible, spending all of those hours to make sure everything is organized, packed, picked, shipped, printing shipping labels. This is not the fun, cool
No,
part of running an e-commerce business, folks. This
no.
is the not glamorous part.
And
But he's
my
documenting it.
My wife knows that there is almost no way for me to be guaranteed to be angry than if I have to pick, pack, and ship for
Oh,
several hours. I mean, it's a not desirable activity, and easy way to make me mad. So that's what ends up happening. Anyway, hey, show your work, show the
exactly.
effort. It's worthwhile. Now, on the opposite side of that, YouTube has released a new piece, a new tool, a new slop tool, some would say,
Amazing.
called Reimagine. And I
Oh my
specifically
gosh.
arranged these to be contrasting. I don't know where this video is right now. See if it'll play for us, Jack. If it doesn't, I'll just describe. Here we go. Here we go. This is YouTube's new Reimagine. You can take a still from a video that you have made, and then you just tell AI what you want it to do, and then it makes new content for you, which is the exact thing that we covered last week that guy who tweeted said when that new pop-up was coming. Hey, does this feel like AI slop? He said, this is because they want to train their new tool that will create AI
Yeah.
slop. And now here it is. It has debuted and it exists. Obviously, this is no effort required. Just take your video, send it in, get a new shtick that maybe this shortens the creative loop infinitely, but it's in direct contrast to the highest performing show your work, heroing effort. It's in direct contrast to that. I mean, I find it interesting and I want to play around with it, but I'm just drawing the contrasting here that these are totally different. And it'd
Yeah.
be interesting to see what happens on YouTube as a result. I thought that they were going after AI slop everywhere.
Yeah.
Turns out at the end of the day, maybe not.
Yeah. I think this is just going to help the people that are actually putting in the effort even more. And this is just going to create that divide even more. I would be shocked if any of the actual performance of these videos is anything, to write home about. I would imagine they're going to be well underperforming videos. They're not going to be great. Meanwhile, you have the true creators actually pushing out high quality content day in and day out and breaking through that algorithm. It's totally different. This is just another, nothing burger from them to debut.
Well, I'll just say in contrast here, just to throw this into the salad bowl mix that we're making here. There is a TikTok account right now. that is recreating an entire narrative of either Love is Blind or Love Island. I don't know which one. Okay. And they are recreating them as fruit. Okay. It's
Nice.
like the pineapple who is being, must decide if they're going to get together with the kiwi or whatever. And this thing has massive views. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like 5 million plus followers. So
crushes.
There must be some audience out there for it.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's some audience out there that loves it, but I do agree. I think it's going to highlight real effort put in, even more done by real humans who spent real time and energy to make it so. Before we move on to our next story, let's talk about Seguno. Ladies and gentlemen, Seguno is the only marketing platform inside of Shopify that exists entirely inside of that suite. Why is it important? Because your emails and your pop-ups and your banners and your reviews, they all live where you work and play already. And your email data is the Shopify data. They are not different. You don't have to trust in some duct tape together integration that you hope is genuinely syncing the segmentations that you just made. This is email 3.0. It's a big reason why Seguno won the Shopify 2024 Build App of the Year. One-click automations, actual humans who can help you. They have just released their advanced Shopify segmentation playbook. You should go to Seguno.com. You should get in on that playbook today. Actually, we have a link for you for that we will make sure that we put at the bottom. But if you go to Seguno.com, you can find that, test drive, get a free trial. If you tell them Colin I sent you, they will extend that free trial to 30 days. Many thanks for Seguno being part of the show. Now, confusing campaigns. Confusing campaigns. There are a few here that we need to cover, two in particular. And I just want to show you these images, Colin. You tell me what they are about. Is that fair? Okay, I got three images to show you.
Okay.
Then I'll give you a little time. You describe them in your own words, what you see. And then at the end, you tell me what the campaign is about, what you guess. Okay, show us image number one here, Jack. What do you see, Colin?
Gosh, just a market, not on my phone. It's a pizza in a trash can. I think it's a pizza in a trash can.
Okay, what's the next one? Show us the next one, Jack. What do you see,
Not
Colin?
on my phone again. It's in the between traffic on each side. There's a hand, and then it looks like maybe a generator of some sorts or a amp box.
Any clear product or any kind of motivation campaign?
Nothing.
Okay, nothing. Okay, next
zero.
one, Jack. Next one, Jack. What do you got here, Colin?
Not on my phone. Parking. A1. Basically where somebody parked their car.
Okay. All right. Now, having seen that, what would you say this campaign is about?
Maybe it's about getting rid of bad photos on your iPhone library.
Okay, well, you got it right. But why is that important? And why would people spend hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of dollars to tell you that?
So you can download their app that deletes all the bad photos?
No.
I don't know. This is not a good campaign. It's a
bad
campaign.
Let me read it to you. This is Let's Do It World. Okay. They are launching an out-of-home campaign in the UK, encouraging people to delete unwanted and forgotten photos on their phones to reduce hidden carbon footprint of their digital storage. Billboards show the type of images that clog up photo libraries, blurry selfies, old receipts, measurements for projects long past. The campaign Not on My Phone was created pro bono by the M&C Saatchi Group UK and Bauer Media Outdoor and crowdsources pictures from real people's camera rolls. Billboards are placed across the UK near train stations and busy roads to target travelers and commuters and will also run on social media. So these billboards that you have seen will also be displayed on everyone's social algorithms. What I would say is this would be a great example of where it doesn't pay to be clever. Okay, clear is better than clever. I'm not sure that the way that we reduce our carbon footprint, the best way to do that is deleting old photos inside of your phone. But if it is the way, then you need to actually tell people what's going on. And this is not it. Please do not waste millions of taxpayer dollars or millions of your own dollars running cute campaigns like this that are honestly ugly to look at. And number two, unclear what it's even about. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with that. I just see blurry photos that are on the highway for some reason, and I wish something else more entertaining and delightful and clear was in their place. Is that fair?
Super fair. They should have just hired Carson to do the ads for them.
Yeah, that's right. Hire Carson Hoffman to do that. He'll do something much better for you than this. Speaking of ads not going well, bad news from ChatGPT. This comes to us. Oh, yeah. This is it. This is it right here.
So bad.
Okay. All right. So we've got two guys sitting in a garage, and then it says ChatGPT, and then we've got the OpenAI symbol. What's going on here, Colin? What would you say?
I guess it's supposed to be guys building something in their garage, like a startup. But I only saw that because Michael commented on that, and I saw Michael's comment, and I think they were trying to do like a wink to startup founders building out of their garage using ChatGPT now.
Yeah, I would
But
just
it's
say
too clever.
it's too clever. You got to get rid of the wink. Okay, nobody has time for wink. We see 10,000 ads per day, and you need to say explicitly what you want to happen. Don't be dumb. Download ChatGPT, or make money. Download ChatGPT, or start your business. Download ChatGPT. There's no CTA. It's totally unclear what's happening. I see two kind of uninspiring guys sitting out in front of the garage, and it says ChatGPT on it. That's not an aspirational identity that I want to associate with. I don't know what's happening there. I like sitting in the garage, but I'm not sure what that has to do with chat. We got to make it very dummy proof. Okay. Start your startup. Download ChatGPT. Okay, Brian Cano had this to say, we love Brian. And actually, I think we're going to be seeing him at a dinner very soon, hosted by yours truly and Colin. I've seen a few of these in person. They're running a billboard campaign showing the different groups of people and use cases for chat, but they're all missing a call to action. It's a huge miss, in my opinion. You have two groups of people that see this billboard, sees two builders in a garage and connects the dots. ChatGPT is for builders and entrepreneurs. A nod to all great companies that have started in a garage. Cool. But the second group is a much larger group. It is the majority of people sees two random guys in a garage. Why not add something that inspires? Yes, number one, inspiring identity. Okay. Number two, and increases your total obtainable audience. Turn ideas into reality. Every great company starts somewhere. And then I would say, we need a CTA. Download ChatGPT. Use ChatGPT. Something. You got to put something in there. I like Brian's takes here. Turn ideas into reality. That's kind of good. It's still a little fancy, but every great company starts somewhere. I like that one. I like that. Very hardcore. We're missing a tagline, and we're missing a CTA. Don't do that. Don't be too fancy. Don't be too clever for yourself.
It's crazy. I mean, I just don't know why they would do that and just, I guess, waste a lot of money.
Speaking of not knowing why they do that, ChatGPT ads are not going very well. Okay. This comes to us via Adweek, and perhaps ChatGPT ads are the future, but they are not the right now. I'm going to read some of this to you. OpenAI has approached 4 companies that work with the search firm Athena to test ads, and early results underscore the ad product's nascency. One retail client's ChatGPT ads had a 0.91% click-through rate, well below the roughly 6.4% click-through rate benchmark typical for Google search campaigns in the same sector. CEO Philip Foon told Adweek. Still, he says that was better than anticipated. We expected click-through rates to be even lower, Foon said. So apparently he's happy with the 0.91% click-through rate. An OpenAI spokesperson declined to share specific performance details, but said some advertisers are seeing results typical of Google search campaigns. Spokesperson added that the company is still testing its ad products and that CTR performance is wide ranging. To be sure, it is unrealistic to expect OpenAI's developing ad solution to be nearly as effective as Google's, an ad selling giant that has been in the business for more than a quarter century, just as Google search ads have become an always on ad buy for many marketers. OpenAI hopes its ad programs will eventually turn conversational AI into one of the most coveted new ad surfaces in digital media. Now, can you talk me out of this? I would say if my click-through rate is a 0.9 with chat and I got a 6.4 on Google, I don't know why I'd spend any money there.
I completely agree. You're not even hitting a new audience. It's just going to be overlapping audience. I will say there is a story that came out today that makes me a little more hopeful about ChatGPT ads. ChatGPT, OpenAI, just pulled a senior executive from Meta who was at Meta for 12 years, who basically ran a large piece of their advertising division, pulled him over today to OpenAI to run their paid advertising segment on OpenAI. It was announced this morning on LinkedIn, of all places. This is a bullish signal for them. I hope that they can get it together. Who better to learn from than Meta on how to run ads on OpenAI?
Well, hey, I'll just say too, if they want to throw a few consulting dollars at me, I'm open. I'm open. I'm available. I am committed. I'm committed here every day. But if you want a little input on from somebody who's been on the buying side, I'm happy to be involved. Especially on the Meta. If they want some perspective there. I'm available. It's only about $10,000 per hour. You?
Unbelievable. They don't actually do this though.
It's kind of really.
Why would you not pull and consult with the top agency buyers and the top brands on Meta and be like, hey, how should we build this? We're starting at zero. What do you want? And then just build that.
Yeah, it makes too much sense, Colin.
It makes too much sense.
It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. I'd rather talk with somebody who would say that paid advertising is crude in the first place.
Crude.
And generational companies don't do that. Generational companies don't do crude.
They don't do it.
So I don't know. But if they want somebody with a different perspective, we've got a few people that they can talk to. Update here. Google, Meta, Amazon each bring in more ad revenue than all of traditional media ad spending combined by 2028. Okay, it's 2026. We are a quarter of the way through 2026. By 2028, Google alone, Meta alone, Amazon alone will bring in more ad revenue than all of traditional media ad spending combined. Isn't that wild? I still think that there is this kind of thought out there that if you're advertising on social platforms, et cetera, you're kind of the underdog. You haven't really arrived, and if you had inside of the advertising industry, then you would be somewhere in New York dressed in a suit, and you'd be working for people to whom social advertising is an afterthought. And you'd be designing, magazine displays, and I don't know what else. You'd be putting names on stadiums. That's where you've really arrived. But just to underscore the reality, we have a generational opportunity that has never been this way, and it is so lopsided. It is so lopsided that Google alone, Meta alone, and Amazon alone inside of the next 2 years will all outspend. There will be more dollars spent on them than all of traditional media combined. That is wild. And I think that everybody needs to realize what is happening inside of our industry. People's eyes are attached to phones and they're attached to laptops much more than they're attached to the linear television screen, much more than they're attached to anywhere else inside of reality. It is truly incredible. And I wonder when people are going to get the point. Advertising, it's really not that fragmented anymore. It's consolidated inside of Meta, Google, and Amazon. And then there's everybody else, including all of traditional media. Traditional media is everybody else now. And I think that people need to realize what is happening. And if you are acute, if you are skilled, if you are good at what you do on the internet, you are becoming one of the most valuable people inside all of the marketing, advertising, business space, etc. I think it's incredible, and I'm happy to know it. Your thoughts?
I'm gonna throw a cold shot out there if that's okay, Chris.
You guys should
I
call the
think
shot.
I think number 4 on this. So you got Google, you got Meta, you got Amazon. I think number 4 on this that's going to outpace traditional media is going to be TikTok.
You think
That's
so?
going to be the next one that I think is going to outpace traditional media from a paid standpoint. Once they keep dialing in that ad platform and keep making it work, I think that's going to be number 4 because it's just going to be more of these platforms that are just going to outperform them.
I don't know where else you would go to spend your dollars, and why would you? I don't
Exactly.
know. I don't know why you would.
Yeah.
Gary Vee's been telling us for a long time that the Nikes and the Cokes and the big boys of the world, they're going to discover at some point, and then they're going to dump their war chest into. I mean, it seems like it's happening. Okay, number one, that's why everybody's ad costs are going up. But number two, it's like, where else would you put them? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's waking up. Digital is
Magazines.
where it is. Yeah, I guess. I'm down for an excellently executed
Same.
out of home billboard. I'm down for it.
Same.
Or if they want to rename, the University of Texas Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium into the Ecom Cowboy Stadium, I'm down for that too.
I like it.
But probably your dollars are better spent on somebody's phone with some kind of UGC attached. Just saying.
Yeah.
Next, X is heavily incentivizing people to come back. And I think this gives us all a hope that X is going to become the e-commerce ad platform that we desire. X dangles 200K for advertiser to return to the platform, leaked deck shows. This comes to us from Adweek, and these incentives are quite generous. I've got some other screenshots here I'm going to read to you. I don't know if Jack has them, but I will read them regardless. 50% added value return to platform incentive, up to 200K in added value per advertiser, 5% added value to 10% quarter-over-quarter growth, etc. Listen to these stats. I think this would shock you. X is number 1 for ad attentiveness. Number 1 for ad attentiveness. Okay, do you wonder what that means? I wondered what it meant. Do you wonder what that? Do you know what that means?
Just staying on the ad for a total duration.
Let me read this to you. Our users are more tuned in to on-platform ads and more likely to convert than other social users. 45% X users are 45% more likely to buy products they've seen advertised versus non-X users. 25% more likely to tell friends and family about new products. The company also claimed that per X internal data, this is here, the platform, August 2nd to December 7th, the platform observed a 140% lift in click-through rates, a 43% increase in conversion rates, and a 37% increase in sales. Ad performance and ad link sales, in particular, has been a fixation of Musk's as the company looks to recover ad revenues. In February of 2023, Musk wrote in a post, almost nobody buys anything on Twitter, but almost everyone on Instagram does. Now, I love that. I love that attitude because it seems like Elon is focused. He wants to make the ad product on X top tier, better than Instagram. And I am here for it. I mean, let's make this thing the best e-commerce ad platform that exists. Why not? Right? I mean, there's a boatload of cash that people will dump, that our community will dump for sure if this thing can work. What do you think of this?
Give me cheap CPCs, give me cheap CPMs, you get my money.
Yeah,
Elon, please.
Right.
I'm begging you. I'm begging you. Meta has laid out this platform, and you saw how much ad revenue Meta gets. It's an unbelievable amount of money. It's an unfathomable amount of money. If you just make a viable ad platform that people are willing to put in dollars, and a great example of this is AppLovin came out of nowhere and made a viable ad platform that people can kind of siphon in a decent chunk of change for their budget, call it 15, 20% if you're really good at it. People are looking for different ways to deploy this budget that's not just Meta. that is also going to be affordable and also something they can test out. They're constantly looking for this. And it is not $10,000. It's not $100,000. It is tens of millions of hundreds of millions of dollars that people want to deploy. Just make it viable. That's it.
And what I'll say too is that there is a very engaged D2C e-commerce community on X that's very active, that wants to make money now. They want to deploy ad dollars now, and they are looking for any place that they can do that. Okay. If it's Taboola, they'll do Taboola. Okay. Yeah. If it's Taboola, if it's Snapchat, they'll do Snap. I mean, they'll do anything. They'll do anything. They want to see, I spent this much, I made a little more. Now I have green going into my wallet. And because they're already here, don't you think if there was continual updates and betterments in place for the ad product on X, don't you think they would be so hyped to try it? I think they would be ravenous to try it. I think this is a total win. A total win. I think there's a much higher tier, higher engaged e-commerce operator here on X than on any other platform. And if it can work on X, man, people they'll be dropping playbooks, they'll be dropping dollars, and they will be shouting praises from the heavens on what Elon has done. I think this is a great path forward, and I hope it happens.
I mean, just think of one of the small communities on X, which is Andrew Ferris. We had him on the show. Yeah. And he said on the show, the folks that are inside of our Slack channel are responsible for over $1 billion in ad spend. If you just influence Ferris and his community, you have the potential to shift allocation of $1 billion in budget of ad spend.
That's right.
That is so seismic.
It is.
And that's just one community on Twitter. That is a small community of a massive community that is on Twitter. And there's just billions of dollars being ready to be spending, and we're ready.
So I will just say, I mean, we'll clip this and we'll put it out there. Hey, we are very pro. And ad incentives, great way to go. Great way to go. If you give us free ad dollars, we're gonna spend them back. Okay, great move. Love to see these reports. Okay, 140% lift in click-through rates, 43% increase in conversion rates, 37% increase in sales. Love that. Love it. That. And we welcome anyone from the X team who would like to come on here and talk and converse, because I have great hope that X, as it continues to develop and, becomes whatever Elon wants it all to become, an all-inclusive platform, essentially the North American version of WeChat, I think has been often referenced. As the platform continues to evolve, if there can be a compelling, adequate, targeted, dialed ad platform that can compete with Meta, oh my gosh, we will all be very excited. And we welcome anyone from the X team to come on here. I can't say that it is going to happen, but perhaps we can help make it happen. We celebrate this kind of news.
There is also one rule in everyone's career that I think we have understood at this point, which is you never bet against Elon Musk.
You never bet against Elon. No, you don't do that. Don't bet against Elon, baby.
Don't bet against Elon. And if he's got his sights set on this, you're going to be guaranteed he's going to figure something out.
Hey, I wait. I'm ready. I'm ready. Nikita, whoever we need to talk to. Nikita, whoever we need to talk to. The ad dollars are ready to be deployed, and the e-com D2C community here on Twitter wants to see this thing go up and to the right. Dollars are ready to be deployed if the e-com D2C ad product is ready and it can work. It'll happen. It'll happen. Before we move forward to our last really group of lightning round stories, let's talk about incense. Don't we all want better ads? Yeah, of course we do. And we want humans to be involved in those ads, ideally. Creators who adapt at what they're doing, but we all know the process for getting those people manually negotiating usage rights, etc. It's a headache. It's very disjointed. That's why Incense exists. They are the all-in-one UGC and influencer marketing platform. All-in-one platform. You get a vetted creator marketplace, not just the ability to search and find people, but them applying and finding you. Okay. Number 2, automated influencer outreach. Number 3, built-in campaign management. Number 4, content delivered in as little as 14 days. Okay. This is so much better than just finding a random TikTok and hoping that it works. They have just released the UGC Playbook 2.0. You can see that URL there at the bottom. Go and get it. Okay. Andromeda is a good thing. And what Incense has done and allows brands to do on their platform will make it work. And you can get real creative that actually scales with your account. Go and get the UGC Playbook 2.0. Many thanks for Incense being part of the show. Now, J for Jacob, not too long ago, released a challenge, a landing page challenge on X. That was in February, I believe. And he updated us on the results. I want to read the original challenge first. We'll pay any landing page builder $15K if they can beat the performance of our current main landing page, which is a PDP. Can be any style that you wish: listicle, advertorial, sales page, PDP, etc., etc. And there is a winner. Okay, now we have the update in March. That was February 27th. So we're just talking like 3-ish weeks later. We have a winner for the landing page challenge. Dave Deirdren collecting the 15 bags, 14% lift for revenue per visitor over 200,000 sessions. Fair play. He succeeded where many had failed, and he got 15 bands for it. And on top of that, Zach M. Stuck released this as well. Well, J for Jacob offered 15K, so I'll offer double. 30K to whoever can beat our top compression sock funnel for hollowsocks.com. If your page can hit 100K sessions at a higher North Beam one-day click ROAS, the money is yours. Could be as simple as a lander or PDP update. We'll post results here. Contact Max or Lloyd, our CMO, to enter. CRO agencies, if you want leads that will take you to 8 figs, this is your opportunity. Grifters, can go somewhere else. We're only running quality funnels, not black hat BS. I like this kind of action on the timeline. I think it makes everybody better inside of D2C. And hey, somebody's going to get the bag. They're going to get 30 bands for this baby if they can make it happen. What do you think of this, Colin?
I absolutely love this so much. I love the fact that all of the math works out for everybody involved. So you're paying to play, and also the brand will make so much more than 15K. And then in cases, Zach's, example, so much more than 30K based off the lift that is generated. I love this. And then you can also figure out who's actually very good at landing pages if you actually post that winner. This is amazing. We need to start doing more bounties on the community. We need to start having more public bounties of, hey, if you can do XYZ, I will give you this amount of money, because the math just works for the brand.
More bounties, less. Okay, I'll just say it. Okay, I've been on the receiving side of many of these, but less crying about, I got so many cold emails, blah, blah, blah. Less crying. Okay, more bounties, because, hey, and I'll say this, if you can put up or shut up, if you can deliver in this kind of public way and get shouted out like this, man, talk about a marketing moment for your agency or your freelance capabilities. I mean, my, for your marketing skills. I mean, this is truly like, it's not make or break. It's only make, because you get shouted out if you make it. If you do a good job and you win, then you're getting public praise from everybody. And I think we need more of this. Less whining about cold emails, more putting forth of bounties. Okay, if you want to make it and show your skill for everybody, I'll give you a big payday and I'll shout you out. I mean, you've proven it. You've proven it in the arena, so to speak. I like this kind of action.
I love this. This is amazing.
Last but not least, two exciting products. And I think that you will like this one. I'm talking about Snooze Ice Cream. They are making ice cream for sleep. This comes to us by way of It's Andrea, the snacks shot creator. Functional CPG. I mean, very large trend, sleep, health, mood, etc. Novelty driving virality. And this one definitely opens up the curiosity loop. Now, They don't have any details on macros. We don't know how many calories or sugars that we are taking in by eating snooze for a good night's sleep before bed. But I will say this is a great excuse to eat more ice cream. And if it has any positive effects at all, I think they've probably got a winner. If it tastes good and it actually helps people sleep, I think this one probably works. What do you think, Colin?
This is a great example of what Oren said while he was on the show, where functional and CPG and that premium is going to step out and actually be a really big showcase within the rest of the kind of bland products out there. I'm excited for this. I really want to try this, actually. I love ice cream.
Here's the thing that I would question. I mean, do you want to establish eating ice cream every night before you go to bed? I mean, that's the one
That's
where
true.
I don't know if this like neatly fits together, but it is
Sure.
interesting. It is
Yeah.
interesting. And in today's day and age, one must be interesting if you're going to get the eyeballs. So I do find it compelling. I don't know if this ultimately ends up being a gimmick or kind of a real category shift, but it's interesting to say the least. And
Yeah.
maybe if it's light on the calories, if it's light on the calories, ultimately what you want, especially inside of functional and health, is you want it to be a repeatable thing. Like people do this every day because then they'll buy
Yeah.
from me forever.
Yeah.
If they can make it low calorie enough, I think this was great. If it's essentially Bluebell with with some functional sleep benefits, I don't know if people are going to be eating it every night, and that's what I
Yeah.
would want ultimately.
I really do want to see the actual macros of this, because it would be hilarious if this is just 1,000 milligrams of melatonin in a pint, and you're just half a pint in, and you're just asleep with a pint on your
Yes.
chest, just out. Yeah.
Yes. We had a
Hey, what if we put 3,000 milligrams of melatonin in ice cream? What else can we put it in?
we had a friend growing up whose dad would every night before bed, he had one of those stomachs that was like would bulge out but was hard. It's like one of those
Yeah.
hard stomachs. I don't get it. I don't get what that is. I don't know if it's just like a lot of abs over many years, but anyway, he had one of those hard stomachs, and he would sit in his chair and he would plop up a half gallon. I guess it was a half gallon of Bluebell, and he would eat that bad boy in the chair every night. that was his ritual,
Yeah.
like that's what he would do. And hey, if you can create that with snooze, that kind of repeatable behavior, I think it's going to be a win. It's going to be a win for those creators. Last but not least, Costco sparkling energy drinks have arrived. This comes from Alex Cohen, RIP Celsius. We've got some of the details here. 200 milligrams of caffeine, same as is inside my Ghost right now. 7 essential vitamins. That's great. Ultimately, I kind of don't care. 0 sugar. If you give me lots of caffeine with 0 sugar and Kirkland can give it to me at a cheaper price, I am here for it, especially if it tastes anything comparable to the energy drinks I already like. This is kind of the danger of working with Costco, is that if you sell good, they're going to copy your product and offer it at a lower price. So, this is the danger of going into Costco. What do you think of this?
I love Kirkland so much. I love the Kirkland brand. And you hit the nail on the head. If they have all the sell-through metrics,
they do,
of your products. So if you start to do really well, the same thing goes for Amazon Basics. If you start to do really well on Amazon, they're going to be like, math's not working for us anymore. I think we need an Amazon Basics version.
Exactly.
Same thing goes for Kirkland. And they're undefeated because I love all the Kirkland stuff. And you always know it's high quality. It's always a high quality version. It's never a terrible version. I would be so shocked to see the percentage of folks that are willing to switch off almost immediately in Costco when they see Celsius and then they see the Kirkland brand. I'd be very curious what that percentage change is once they introduce the Kirkland brand. I'd be 70% maybe.
They did the same thing with Chomps as of late.
Same thing with Chomps.
Chomps was in there, and then all of a sudden, here comes the Kirkland beef stick. I mean, it's a dangerous game. The hilarious thing is, like, Costco, for example, is the biggest wine buyer in the world, I believe.
Yeah.
They're like the biggest wine merchant on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of like you do too well, then they're going to copy and paste your product. I don't know how they do that, but they do. Maybe they just pay. I hope they would just pay the people who are already making it to make it for them in their Kirkland wrapper, but I doubt that that's the case. I doubt that's how this works. Hey, I'll say this. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to try it. I mean, we got a new Costco not right down the road. I'm not saying where I live because this is an undisclosed location, but there's a new Costco nearby, and it makes me want to get this new energy drink and try it.
I love it.
Many thanks to Dan Vincent, founder of Wild Gin, for coming on the show. Many thanks to Incense, Seguno, Postscript, and AMP for making this possible. We have got a packed show tomorrow. We've got 3 guests. The one and only Max Tuning should be joining us. We need to double confirm. And we've got other guests coming too that are baller. Do you remember off the top of our head, or should I not disclose right now?
Don't disclose the other 2. We got to keep some suspense.
Okay, we'll keep a little suspense. One of them is going to be AI forward, how to use Claude to make your life so simple for you as a marketer, and many other things. Thanks for joining us. We will see you on the other side. Talk to you later. Jack, are you alive?
Jack, that was our cue. Jack,
I think
Jack hit us.
Jack may have died. I hope not.
Jack took some snooze.
I think Jack fell asleep. That's okay. That's what's exciting about being live. Is that sometimes interesting things happen. Let's see what happens when I do this. Let's see what happens. Well, I don't know.